Hello, my family. It is Thursday morning. Actually, it's just about Thursday afternoon, and it has been a time. This whole town, pretty much for the last 3 days, had been iced in. Today, they're just now getting functioned. The kids, everybody's been home just about all week. My husband got to go to work this morning, but I don't know for how long. So we are just trying to wait out the storm, per se. I am getting ready for spring, and I'm actually so ready for it. But in the meantime, I do what I have to do. Now, I'm just going to today do coffee moment. I'm looking at actually probably making, for me, a sourdough crust pizza, and for my husband, being type 2 diabetic, I'll probably have some other type of crust for him. Although he can have sourdough, he has to minimize how much of it he can have. So we'll see how this plays out, which way he wants to go. I had somebody ask me, which I never thought a question like that would come up. So I'm going to do that partly into this coffee moment right quick. Somebody asked me, how do I clean my stove with it being white, and how do I keep it so clean? Asked if I would do a demonstration, and I could do that for you. It's if y'all don't mind, we'll just go ahead and do that super quick and get that over with, so that way I could show the subscriber how I do that. But I'll move you to the kitchen and we'll do that right quick, because I've actually got to clean it anyways, so I'll show you how I do that. Okay, y'all, so I had made these cloth based paper towels basically, and I did that for my cleaners. I use a Lysol cleaner for this. Occasionally, about every year to every 6 months, I replace these rings right here. So, oh snap, hang on a minute, be right back. Okay, y'all, sorry about that. I see some things I'm gonna have to replace. This thing is 5 years old, so I have a lot of things I'm having to replace. Every 6 months to every year, I will replace these pans, but in the meantime, I will wash them as much as I can. I'll therefore I've been up underneath my stove. Mine comes up from the bottom, just like so. And I will get up under here, clean all this out. Get up through here. I have been known to use power wash, by the way, in this, because it's a heavy duty type of soap. So I'll come through here, and actually I'm going to just go ahead and do that with y'all. Now, some of these things like these are really heavy duty. I've not been able to get that clean, but for the most part I got all of this done. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do this, because I got to get this cleaned under here again. I'll come in with my power wash, get up under here in the hard soil areas. Still working on that one. Just come through here, leave these sit for about 5 minutes. Once I leave this sit, I will be back, and I will come back and show you how I just wipe this out. Okay, y'all, so I usually let this sit about 5-10 minutes, and I'll take a scouring pad like this on this part, and I'm still whittling at this piece right here, but it doesn't, I'm not fretting about it too much. I got 95% of this all cleaned up. So I just come through here and just actually scrub this out. On a cold day, what else is there to do besides clean up? So, and after everybody's been cooped up in this place, I'm ready for it to be cleaned. So I'm just coming through here, doing a quick wipe down. Now that's done, I'll come back with my dishcloth, wipe it out. Now I did use power wash on this as well. So I'm just going to come through here and rinse all of this soap out of here. I only lightly did a light covering. I've learned by mistakes, don't ever do it too much. If you do, you will never get the soap bubbles done. Let me go ahead and get this rinsed off and we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so now that's finished. So I raise this up, push these down in here, pop it back in place. Now for this top part, I'll use my Lysol cleaner and I'll come through, spray my top up through here. I'll pull my knobs off of here so we can get behind this, lining them up so I know what goes where, just like so. Coming through here, spraying this. Let this sit for a few minutes and then we'll be back. Alright, y'all, so here's where I come back with the homemade paper towels. After I let this sit for a while, taking on whatever grease or grime is on my stove, I come back here after I dampen the homemade paper towel. And then I will come back through here and wipe all of this down, just like you see it here. Even up here, through the tops. Then I'll come back and wipe this down also again with some soap water. In the meantime, while I was waiting here, I took all the rings that were on this rings here and I washed all of those and scrubbed those down too. I mean, I may change them throughout the year, but I still try to take care of things as much as I possibly can, because buying them is getting expensive, especially when you do 2 at a time. So I try to keep what I can as clean and last as long as I can. Now, sometimes it can get pretty daggum dirty. So I've done my stove the same way. I will use power wash on it, and I try to keep it clean too. I keep an eye on things, and I just like a nice clean stove. I might not have paid a whole lot for this thing. When we bought it, I settled for a very cheap on sale stove, but regardless, it is what I have. It's what we could afford, and it is ours. It's mine, and whatever I have, I vowed to take care of it. So it might not be fancy, but it is mine, and I'm proud of it. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to wipe this down after we got the Lysol cleaner. Right here, just like so. And now I'm going to dry this off and we start assembling it back together. I hope I'm not in your way every time I come through here, y'all. Just continuing to keep doing this until it's finished. And then we're just going to put it together. So now I have the knobs done here as well. I washed these while this was sitting. Place this back on. Wait. Snap them back on there. Just like this. I don't particularly like the glass tops. I had the opportunity of having one at one time. I did not like it at all. I could not stand that thing. And I'm going to come through here, wiping all this out. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add our grids that have now been cleaned on here. And some of these are old, so like I said, I need to start replacing these. Pop those in there. Now I set this back in here, line them up the best I can, and I am finding out actually that they don't make these rings to fit our stoves anymore. This is an old Frigidaire model, so I turn around and keep, I try to make it match as much as I possibly can. They don't always match very well. I'll put that one in there. Now I'm going to put this one in here. Line this up the best I can. Get that set on my ring. And that is it, y'all. That is how I keep this stove clean. And this is what I do every time that there's cooking being done on here. Because sometimes, like I said, y'all, it can get pretty darn nasty. So I just keep it clean as much as I possibly can. It's not perfect. This thing definitely does show some old wear and tear on it, but if I can make this last as long as I can, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that's how I do, that's how I keep this old stove of mine. I need to replace some of these rings, especially back here. They need to be replaced, so I'm going to be looking at how to replace these. But other than that, I just take care of it as best I can. Okay, so hopefully that demonstration for the lady who asked me if I would show how I keep my stove clean, hopefully that helped you. It's really not a big thing. I just, some of these things I just put some elbow grease in it and make sure I take care of it. That's it. I find that if I do this pretty much every day, it keeps longer and it's easier to clean up. Now some things can be harder to clean, and it's okay because I let it soak. So if that helps, I'm hoping so. I did find that the best thing to use for an oven cleaner, basically just minimize how much you use because you will have suds coming everywhere. But power wash actually works, and I would leave it sit and soak for at least 10 minutes. That's the least of it. So, and I've done that, and my oven even looks like the top of my stove. Don't ask me how I do that, but it is, and it's just consistency, keeping everything clean and wiped out. So, the next thing we're doing, next week sometime, I'm really hoping it's next week, I am getting ready to do one big major seed haul. When I do my seeds and they come in, I will be doing a video to let you all know what I had done, what we're going to be planting this year. I'm looking at getting some more raised beds. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do these raised beds. I'm going to try a method called Back to Eden. And it was like this. We have over on the side of our house here, there's a whole line of somebody else's property of nothing but pine trees. Now granted, it's pine trees, and I'm not a fond of them either. But the ground was showing me something. With that, we have had some pretty bad drought, and these trees have been the greenest I've ever seen. They don't really get a whole lot of maintenance done to them. But when I go out there, and I took a rake, I just thought I'd just try it out and see what is going on with the soil or the land. And when I pulled back all the shavings on it, which is pine needles, and the leaves that fall in from other trees, I noticed there was some very rich black soil. Now, mind you, people have said, and I've heard it done, like blueberries, if you want acidic soil, lay down pine needles. But let me explain something to you about those pine needles. I did do some research on that, and honestly, there isn't enough acid in the leaves to make your soil acidic. You would have to have an awful lot of pine needles to do that. Now, would I suggest you start laying all of your beds with pine needles thick? No, I would not do that. With the chance it can turn acidic. Mildly, yes. But know that you're not going to get a whole lot of acidic out of pine needles. I am actually getting ready, once we can get outside and it stops being so cold. Now, we were supposed to get past freezing today. We're barely being able to do that. I wanted to get outside. We do have a warm-up coming next week. However, we're going right back to being cold again. So it's going to be back and forth. We're basically into the normal winter for us here in the deep south of Mississippi in January and February. This is when our winters are, and then we start warming up, but then we get into a lot of rain. So I have absolute some work outside to be done. Back to Eden is basically using the mulch. The trees promote their own mulch into the ground. If you look at the woodlands, if you ever notice that the woods have the most beautifulest trees you've ever seen, they're green, they're flowing, they're healthy, they're strong, but yet nobody attends to them. If you were to take a rake and pull back those leaves and you check that soil, I'm going to tell you, you're going to find some very, very rich soil. Every time the branches break down, every time the leaves fall, it turns into mulch into the ground. The weather deteriorates it, and then so it just keeps its own composting. Back to Eden is going to allow me to take my galvanized raised beds, which I'm fixing to get, take some of the wood that we have on this land that really isn't great to burn. I've got way too much of it, and I've been wanting to know what I can use to get rid of this. Well, what I can use to get rid of it is turning it into compost in the bottom of my raised beds. It is also going to cut the cost of how much soil I put into these beds, because I'm looking at about 2-foot beds as far as depth wise. I need that 2 foot. A lot of my plants, we don't have enough depth, and so I'm doing this for that and to be able to expand more into our gardening. So I am going to be taking at least a portion of the bottom sides of those beds. I'm going to be taking that wood that we have out there, and I'm going to line the bottom with it. My compost, I still have some greens and stuff that have not broken down, which is great because I can actually literally, just like the chop and drop, I can put those pieces into each bed, creating a compost in the bottom of my beds. One is creating the compost. Two, I'm creating a drainage that everything can flow out through the bottom of it, and I'm allowing the moisture be able to hold the bottom to where the roots can start going down, just like they do in the trees. When we have a drought, the trees are still staying moist somehow, and the bottom line is it's because the ground is created its own moisture barrier. This will allow me to create that barrier in my beds. So if you have some old wood, if you have raised beds, save on your soil. The top part of my layers, like maybe half of that bed, a little less than half, not much, that's going to be the soil that I'm going to lay on top, and that's when I'm going to go ahead and start planting. So I'm hoping these help you to look into Back to Eden gardening. I know a lot of gardeners who are doing this, and it's worth a try for me. It'll help clean up this property some. So, and I've definitely needed that. These are a few things that are going to be in the future of this homestead. I am so excited to get started on it. I am looking at creating beds specifically this time for certain areas. And the beds are about 6 by 4 by 2, and I'm looking at making one entire bed with nothing but herbs. Another one, flowers for the bees. We might have lost our bees, but we're going to try to catch some wild swarms. Honestly, catching our own bees, we've known how to do this. We have done this several times. The only thing about them, the only thing about catching wild swarms is the fact that they swarm. And we had purchased, for 2 years, we had purchased bees. Our experience in purchasing bees, which is not the company's fault, but the Postal Service's fault. Last year, we spent about $800 in bees, only to have them, the sugar water that was shipped with them was dumped upside down and poured all over the top of our bees, killing 90% of our investment. Now, the company we bought them from did graciously reimburse us our money, but I don't think we're going to go this route again. This was 2 years in a row. The year prior before that, they were afraid of the bees, I guess, and they basically left them sit at the post office. They by then got hungry, they were chilled, cold, and they killed them. So we just decided that we're going to do this naturally. We can buy bees. Again, there's no guarantee they're going to stick around. So getting swarms, catching our own freebies, basically freebies. Yeah, there we go. But truthfully, we can catch our own bees free, and we will try and do that this year to get our hives back up, and then try different methods just to be able to keep our honey. So we are not buying bees this year. We'll show you, or we'll try to show you, how we catch our bees, and maybe that'll help a lot of you who are looking at beekeeping and how do you catch free bees. So I will show you that when my husband starts setting up for swarm traps. And then if we start getting traps, I will video it for you to watch and see how this is done. It's kind of interesting. I have watched big swarms come to us, and it was like you can literally hear them and see them. This big black cloud is kind of cool. So these are some of the new things we're looking to get into. Mediterranean, I'm absolutely staying with Mediterranean cooking. Now, somebody had asked me another question, and that's a very good question. Now, I told you all we have been on our pantry challenge, and I'm really excited that I did this. This pantry has helped more ways than one, and honestly, with our son and his family being here, it has helped them to feed them at times as well too. I mean, when I asked how much did we spend so far in the month of January, $250 was all we spent, and so that was pretty cool. Now that's with our creams, our butters, our cream cheese, things like this, our milk, my coffee creamers. All of these is what's considered in the expenses. As far as any other major expenses, no. The $250 also went for toilet paper, paper towels if we needed them, things like this. Just the basics, not anything food related sources besides a salad mix or lettuce that I'm not able to grow out of a full garden. Now, I do have a small mess coming up right now over in the aerial garden, and I am so happy over that one. In the Let Pot hydroponic system, I do have basil and parsley coming up, so I'm super excited about that. Those are growing slowly, however. So I am getting ready. Actually, they're almost the size to use to put in a salad, so I can snip and grow again. As far as what had happened, I told you I cleaned out the last of the harvest on the greens. Now, I did cover the parsley, and even though I covered the parsley, we got down to a temp we never see here in Mississippi, and that was -3. Our temps dropped down to about 7, but the feel like in the wind gust was a -3, and it froze and crisped my parsley outside. Some of it still survived. I don't know how much longer it's going to survive with temps still going like they are going. I'm going to wait and see. But in the meantime, I have some growing in the house. So that just takes a little while to start growing majorly to make a difference, to show you what they look like. As far as the aerial garden, I will show you a pic of this right quick and show you what the greens are really looking like. So let me take you over there. That's what it looks like now, y'all. I'm actually getting ready to have to raise up this light because it's starting to climb up there quite a bit, as you can see right here. So I am getting ready to raise this light up, but we have greens. And that little one right back here, that is our tomato plant. It's a mini cherry tomato, and it's doing amazing. So these things are growing like crazy, y'all. I am happy. Oh, I'm so excited. So, would I continue to grow indoors like this with these hydroponics? Yep, absolutely. So, it gives me a chance to grow in the winter when Mother Nature outside has no idea what she wants to do, even here in the deep south. So I have opportunities, and I know what I'm looking into this coming winter, what I want to do, and I'm going to make sure I have the seeds to do that as well. I can also do microgreens in here too, so I can keep the nourishment coming. Um, I am actually really glad to see a lot of you have commented that the recipes that have been coming out of this kitchen has actually helped many of you. Thank you. I'm glad to see that. I mean, if there's anything that this channel does, I'm really glad to see that it actually helps so many, because I have been there too. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going to go, how I was going to turn. So I'm actually glad it's helping others too. That's the only thing I had as a goal. Um, I did do some checking, by the way, and I told you I would see what it would be like. I decided I don't think I'm going to do the membership thing. YouTube does get 30%, and so many of you have said that. And it just seems like there's a lot of hassle. There would be a lot of things that would be expected of me, and I don't know if I can do that. So I've decided not to do the membership. However, I am looking into another option about the coffee one. I think it's called Buy Me a Coffee or something. I am looking into that process, and once I dig in a little deeper, should I decide to want to go ahead that route, I will put the link in the description box below. And for those of you, please, y'all, before I go any further, no, I am not asking you to buy me a coffee. No, I am not making that a part of this channel. This channel is absolutely free no matter what you do, whether you want to contribute to a cup of coffee or not. It doesn't matter. I am just giving this for the opportunity for those who are asking, who want to support, and so I'm making a way that I possibly can, because the only other way I have, y'all, is my P.O. box. And I'll just be honest, that's the way it'll be. So it's going to either buy me a cup of coffee type of deal or the P.O. box. But other than that, no, it is not mandatory. If you don't have anything, you are perfectly welcome on this channel. I'm not changing that. I don't care if you send something or not. Honestly, I'm not begging you to do that either. This is, again, just for opportunity for those who have been asking, what can we do and how can we do this, because this is something we want to do. I wanted to make that clear because some of you have asked me, well, I can't afford to do that, and I don't know if I'll be able to stay on the channel. Please, no, yes, you can. I'm not asking you to change anything. So, yeah, that's not part of this channel, y'all. I'm not selling anything that I do in the kitchen. No, I'm just going to continue to do this, but allow others who want to help to help. Occasionally I may do videos on a product that I see that might work. I have some coming. I've got one coming up of actually coffee time. It's really cool mugs that I'm going to be using, and I will do a coffee time with that one because I think it's really cool, reasonably priced, and that's where I stick. If something is, I find that somebody can absolutely use, if it's reasonably priced, and some of the things might be a little high in my future, but you know what? I am very picky and choosy. I'm not just grabbing anything, y'all. So just please know that too. Somebody called me a sellout. I'm not a sellout, y'all. I just do things that something maybe might have helped me if I'd have known about it. You know, the Let Pot, if I'd have known something about it a year ago or so, I probably would have already gotten that one. So I'm just now learning about some of these things myself. I'm excited that this channel has grown to where people are recognizing it. So, I mean, that took a lot of hard work and dedication, and it's the same thing I'm going to continue to do day after day. I continually give dedication because I love y'all. I love what I do. And I look at it as, why not share it with you? Look, I have a winter that has locked us down, and I am super grateful that I went into the summer and started canning because my pantry saved my tail end. Our stores were bought out. Our stores shut down here. We had no grocery stores running for at least 3 days, 2 days at the most, or at least actually. So we were completely iced over. Here, it's not like it is up north. There is no sand, there's no salt, we have no equipment. The way they believe it is the good Lord brought it, and the good Lord will take it away. So, did it save us? Absolutely. When the times, like I told you, my husband's job starts decreasing and resources start getting slim, does it feed a family? Yes. My family has had resources drop. They have had times where food started getting slim and they needed a resource for backup, and they've had it. I was gracious enough to know that it was helping. It was helping. So I restock again this year. And that's what I'm going to continue to keep doing. And as I do, I go ahead and show you all how to do that, and also show you how to use it. Now tonight, like I said, we're just going to have a pizza, so I'm just going to pretty much make a simple Italian margherita pizza, and that's about it. But I am actually looking more and more into making homemade mozzarella cheese, because that stuff, especially the kind I use, is getting very expensive these days, and a gallon of milk is a whole lot cheaper. Same with my feta cheese. I am actually getting ready to have to make some more feta. So I do have videos on that one. I do need to do one for the mozzarella cheese. And I'm also looking at getting to the point of making my own Greek yogurt as well. Because Greek yogurt is starting to rise, where a gallon of milk, again, is cheaper and I can make more. So I am actually looking to incorporate these because they're great probiotics to add to this gut of mine. So, and I'm getting ready to go back to the gym as well, which I am so excited for. I am looking forward to spring, and I'm keeping my mind this year. Every year I have been depressed about winter, and so I just keep focusing on what I want to do. Oh, I also showed you all when I do my seeds, how I contain my seeds through the winter is quite, actually, it's interesting. I found a way to use photo boxes. Yep, I ordered photo boxes. They make the absolute best seed containers. And I'm going to go get one of my containers and show you how I do this. Okay, y'all, so last year, I was looking at trying to figure out how to organize my seeds. So I had went on Amazon and started looking at ideas, and I found what was called photo boxes. Now in these boxes are, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 18 cases. So there are 18 cases just like this. Each one snaps just like so, and then I put my seeds. They will hold even Baker Creek big seeds. So they will hold quite a bit of seeds. Each one came with labels. So I can categorize what each box is, pop them inside of this big box here, and keep all of my seeds organized. They are dark because it keeps the light off of my seeds, and I can put them in a cool, dark spot and keep my seeds pliable for at least a couple years. So that's what I have been doing, and I do not regret this. I wound up actually buying 3 boxes like this. I'm really, really glad I did. So they vary in prices. I caught mine when they were on sale. And I learned this from other homesteaders, actually. I was looking for ways to organize my seeds because I had them in boxes. I did try the photo album thing, and that just drove me crazy. So I had to find something what was best for me. The photo boxes worked. I've seen them where they had like bead drawers and all sorts of many, many different ways of doing your seeds, and this one wound up being the best for this homestead and for me to keep up with. So every year I'll go and do my inventory at about this time, see what I need the most of, see what I'm running out of, see what I don't need at all, or I will go through and I will look at the dates and what needs to be replenished. So I know exactly what I have. Everything is categorized, and it's really super simple for me to go and do this in organizing. And I never thought in my life I would organize seeds, but it's the best thing I ever did. So I thought I'd share that with you too. I am actually looking really forward to this seed haul. I'm really excited, y'all. I'm excited as to show you what we're going to be doing new on the homestead as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this back, and then we will be right back with you. Okay, y'all. So until I think the next time I come back here, it will probably after the weekend. With so much going on, with this household so full all the time right now, I think I'm gonna wait till Monday, start again. By then it should start warming up a bit. Hopefully in between here it's going to be raining and warm slightly and cold. It's just going to be mixed up. I'd like to get some stuff done outside too. So I am looking at probably coming back on Monday, y'all. Please bear with me until we get past this cold snap, just like many of you are going through. I sincerely pray that you are staying warm. I pray that your tables are full, your bellies are warm, you got a roof over your head, you've got heat. Just stay in if you don't have to go out, guys, because this isn't over yet, and we're learning the same thing. It's not over even for us. So, has it been a winter? Oh yeah. Here in Mississippi, I've not seen this type of weather before, and I'm not used to this. So, I'm ready for spring. So, I guess at this point, y'all, I am going to take this coffee time segment, warm up my coffee. And that's funny because the coffee mugs that I'm looking at getting, I'm going to share with you, my husband always says, you know, you always pour yourself a cup of coffee and you get busy, you'll take a couple sips out of it, you get busy, you'll put it down, and then you'll forget about it, and then you'll come back, and by the time you come back, it's cold. He's right. These mugs are like insulated mugs, so I'm anxious to try it because like right now, I'm actually going to go heat up my coffee because I let it get cold again, y'all. But hey, coffee's coffee, so it's warm when I warm it up. So that's exactly what I'm fixing to go do. I'm defrosting a sourdough pre-made crust dough, and I'm going to be making some pizza, staying warm, and I am going to be coming up with some new recipes this coming up week, and I will gladly be sharing these new recipes into the pantry or into the videos coming up as well. So I love you all. Please stay warm, and I look forward to working with you this spring. I look forward to working with you in the coming weeks, and we're getting ready for the seed haul, and I cannot wait. So until next time, y'all, I will see you again in our kitchen. Much love to each and every one of you from Carrie and Parton's Heritage Homestead.